Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and quick review of this KANSING Smart Translator machine or translation machine. This is listed for currently around $100 on Amazon, and there are a lot of this or similar machines, translators coming out these days. So it looks like one big Chinese company has made these things, and now they are sold under 100 brands everywhere, Amazon, eBay, and so on and so on. The basic features are 107 online languages and 12 plus offline languages, and I would say this is the most important thing which we are covering here, or actually the reason why we would need something like that, because there are plenty of free and good online services or apps available. I mean, we have the Google Translator here. Here's an Android phone. I have it already installed, the Google free translator, and yeah, I have it set to Chinese to English. I can give you some small test here. Yeah, it's scanning this instructions or the support thing here, and you can see it's doing a pretty good job. I mean, there are some icons which are not translated, but everything else is translated in real time. Usually you should be able to read that. Maybe I have to hold it this way. Of course, it depends a little bit on the camera what you have. I have a cheap camera here, but if you have like an iPhone or Samsung phone, then that's usually no problem. You can see, you can easily read everything. If you have to translate something, maybe you bought a device, you hooked it up like a surveillance camera system to your TV, and then everything is in Chinese, and you can't even find the option how to change the language to English. I had this just half a year ago, and I had to ask my son, and he came up with the idea of using Google Translator in the app, and it worked right away. It just took me a couple of seconds to change the language then, even when there was just Chinese on the screen. That's insane. But what to do if you are traveling, you're far away from the internet, you don't have access to the World Wide Web, and you need to translate some things, and that's the idea why to have this thing. And so we are comparing this a little bit, of course, to the Google Translator, but we are also trying to use this offline and see if this is working. There have been such things around since many years. Usually they have been more expensive, couple of hundreds of dollars, or just very, very cheap things like the Muama or something like that, which is on the internet as basically as a scam since many years. It's a rip-off totally. They are asking, I think, for around $50. It's just basically a device which is connecting to an app which you have to install. You could directly use the app on the phone, or like Google Translator, and it would be doing probably a much better job than the Muama, where you pay $50. It's crazy. So there are many scams around. Just be careful about that. So I'm charging this thing here, and I'm going to try to find out if this is also a scam or really working. By the way, I have the instructions manual here for you if you're interested into that. Maybe this gives you the opportunity to make a better buy decision, or if you bought used and you lost the instructions. I'm always going to show everything. So just go to the highest resolution 1080p, put in pause on every page, and you should be able to read everything. Here in the back we have just Chinese, so it's a very short instructions manual. It's not a lot, it's a simple device, but you have still quite some possibilities. If you read everything, I think it's worth to read everything what it can do. It can do really a lot, and if everything works, it could be a really interesting device. So I have it fully charged in the meantime and used for about half an hour. Been trying a little bit around, and yeah, the result is a little bit mixed. There are some good things and there are some bad things, and I'm trying to show you what I have found so far. So what I've noticed, that when you turn the device off and you turn it on again, then it takes a while to reboot, maybe half a minute or so. This is definitely too much if you're traveling and you need something fast. It's just too slow, so you have to leave it in standby. Of course you can leave it in standby, there's a lock screen, that's no problem. The problem is just that it will also drain the battery. I've heard from some reviewers saying, yeah, it only lasts then for maybe 10 hours or so. I will find out. I will leave it running beside my computer, and if you are interested to know how long this lasts, I will be able to tell you if you're asked in the comments area. So what we have to do all the time, I mean, it's like this. You can have it in a pocket, it's nice protected, screen, nothing happens. You have to push here and then to swipe. What's a little bit bad, that it always makes this loud noise. I don't know why. I have tried to find an option or so, but welcome to China, everything has to be very, very loud and blinking, and yeah, so you cannot use it in a quiet environment, otherwise people will see and know what you're doing. It's a little bit strange. I've been trying around with some language, German to English, of course, my mother tongue, and it has been doing some really great stuff, but also some bad stuff. When you are on this screen here, you can just long press. Yeah, now it's gone again. You can long press for this language to input and long press here on this side for this language. So I can just press here and hold and then say something. Can I have some piece of bread?
Kann ich ein Stück Brot haben?
Okay, that was absolutely perfect. So usually that works really good. So we have this swipe thing, and if you're looking for the menu is on the right side. There is one screen here, and you can even go more to the right side. So basically three screens, the one here, the main screen, one here with translate, that's the online translate. Then you can record something, conference, that's something probably you can connect to other devices. That's a photo translate here. What you have to know, you have to be online. That doesn't work offline, and it's no instant translation. So I have chosen Chinese to English, and I have to hold it steady, and it's scanning now, trying to translate. And the first time it did actually a good job. I don't know if it's doing same thing again. Let's see what it's saying. Yeah, it has also these 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I have been comparing this to the 1, 2, 3, 4, which is already translated on this side, and unfortunately it's not matching. You can see on the number 2 it's saying something with fire, earthquake, flood, thunder and other. There's nothing about that, but probably it is really different in Chinese. They have other points, because actually these things belong together and they make absolutely sense. So I think these are normal sentences. I haven't been reading everything, but most of it looks really good. There are a couple of things which it hasn't been able to translate, but it doesn't look too bad actually. I've tried a couple of times here. I think as long as you have something really large and nice, it should be able to do a good job. I'm actually really surprised by this camera. I didn't expect such a good camera. Usually 5 megapixels. They are not really good, but it looks like they have chosen a good camera. There's even some assistant light here. Can see that here. It's not extreme, but there is definitely some light, and it can probably make some difference. And you can already go back, I think, to the last things here and see what it has been translating. That's not bad. Always swipe to go back. Then we have some simultaneous interpretation. I haven't tried that. I don't know what it can do. Then let's go to input translation. You can hit or like type something here. When you hit, then you get this keyboard. Of course, it's very small because the screen is very small, but it works actually pretty good. Then we have this offline package management. I've downloaded the German and the Chinese and the English because, yeah, it's a standard here that the thing works in English, that you don't have to download, or it's because I have chosen English. I have really no clue. When you want to download additional languages, it's around 100 megabytes for every language on top. The question is then, of course, how much storage do we have? We get this thing here. It is 5 gigabytes available, so it makes about 50 languages which you can download. That's quite a lot. Then we have the offline translate, and I have been trying a lot here, also from German to English, and sometimes it has been doing a great job. I can tell you, really, really great. I was super surprised, like this one here.
Can you wake me up at 5 a.m. tomorrow?
Yeah, I was talking in German, and it picked exactly what I was looking for. That's absolutely amazing. And then other things, it was totally missing. I mean, already missing in German. Then, of course, the translation in English was totally bad. Sometimes it's picking German cities instead of normal names. Here, same thing. Here, same thing. Then other times, again, very good. Then total miss. Yeah, I would say about 50% of the things are really good, and about 50% are total miss. So it's really hard to say, and it's not only the offline thing, it's also the online thing, but online has been doing definitely a better job. Here's the Wi-Fi. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. If you want to test if it's still using the Wi-Fi, I mean online, with the offline, yeah, you can do that. I've been trying that. I've been trying to find out if they are cheating, turned off the Wi-Fi and then using offline translation, and it hasn't changed much. Sometimes I had the impression that it's still trying to access then the online when I had the Wi-Fi on, and then yeah, I kept it on, and next translation was really bad again, so I'm not sure about that. You can connect other devices with Bluetooth, and then the setting again, that's a special mode here, automatic operation. I don't know what it is, agent mode. They don't recommend to do that. Then it's the language here of this device. Don't choose like Chinese or so. I have done this by accident. I thought, yeah, that's the language to translate into or something like that. I've been choosing Chinese. Then I needed the Google Translator here on my phone to find the way back to the English language. Date and time will be picked if you want from the network. Reset firmware upgrade, there was nothing to do here. I've checked, and storage and about. There's not much which you can do. So overall, you have basically three input things. You can type, you can talk, or you can record by the camera. And I would say it's definitely not a scam. It could be worse. The problem is just that sometimes it's a total miss. Sometimes it's surprisingly good, and sometimes it's a total miss. And I've been trying to compare to the phone, like the Google Translator, because the Google Translator, they have also some voice recognition, and I would say it's about on a similar level. So it's not like Google would be 10 times better than this thing here. So I would say, yeah, if you really need something like that, especially offline, if you're sometimes out in the woods in a foreign country or so, and you have no possibilities for online translation, this thing could be helpful. Just make sure that it's not totally misunderstanding you and like bringing wrong medication or offending other people, or you have to be really careful what it's doing. But usually the problem is not the wrong translation. Usually the problem is that it's not understanding you correctly. That's the good thing here. So like in the offline translation, here you can see it has already been misunderstanding me in German. So then of course the English translation is wrong. And so this is what you can easily see. Like I can do this again here. Can you wake? Yeah, I was too fast. You have to be careful. Sometimes there's a sound when you hit the thing, sometimes not. Can you wake me up in the morning at 5 o'clock? Yeah, now it's not doing anything. Let's try the thing again. I mean, I'm at the offline. It should be possible. Can you wake me up, please, at 5 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, it's not doing anything. Können Sie mich bitte morgens 5 Uhr wecken? Yeah, now it's totally blocked. I haven't seen that. Maybe I would have to reboot. I never had this issue before. It was working good. Können Sie mich bitte morgens 5 Uhr wecken?
Can they please me tomorrow to the night?
Yeah, total wrong here. Total miss. Könnte ich bitte ein Bier haben?
That's why we have.
Could I have a beer, please?
Könnte ich ein Bier bitte?
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not a total miss, but not perfect. So, yeah, now it has been a little bit derailed, or so I've really no clue what the problem is. Let's go back to the online. This is exactly the impression that I had. I mean, now it has been horrible, and then you go back to the Wi-Fi, and in a sudden it's much better. I don't know why. Maybe it's still using the online here. Könnte ich bitte ein Bier haben?
Could I have a beer, please?
Yeah, see, now in a sudden it works. Could I have a beer, please?
Könnte ich bitte ein Bier haben?
Yeah, it's really weird. So somehow I have the impression that they are cheating, and yeah, only when you have this thing online, then it's working really good, and when you have it offline, maybe they keep some things, they remember some things which you have been doing when you have been using this online, and you go back and use it offline. They remember, they have it in storage, and they reuse that, and it's working for a while. And after that, when you're really out in the woods and you go to the offline translation, it's doing a total mess here. So, and yeah, this is also what people have been reporting, that it's really difficult when you're offline, that it's sometimes totally wrong, and this could be dangerous. But again, most of the things are just wrong, recognized in your original language, so you have a chance. That's really good. So you see what it has been capturing, so you have a chance to correct or say, oh my god, that was totally wrong. But yeah, you have to know what it means in the other language, of course. Maybe that's something which you should learn at the beginning when you're using such a device. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's difficult to give you a real recommendation on that. I mean, it's $100. It's not a total fail. It's not a total scam, but it has quite some limitations. I don't know if it's really worth it, but there are a lot of similar devices out there. It doesn't help if you buy just from another manufacturer. There are probably dozens or even hundreds such devices around from different sellers, or they are using different brand names, but actually they are the same thing. I can tell you, they are absolutely the same thing. This is how it works in China. Some big company comes out with one thing, and then they maybe sometimes make a little bit of different housing, different packaging, a little bit of different things, so everybody thinks it's different device. No, it's internal, it's exactly the same thing then. But so it doesn't help when you just buy from another listing. I guess this is what you can expect in 2021 from an online-offline translator. So put down the link to this listing anyway down into the description, so you can check it out and order it from there if you really like it. So I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. And I'm always happy to talk about these things. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.